I have to click OK.
You're all good. All right. Thanks, Elaine, for joining me tonight. At least we've got a few things sorted out beforehand too.
Yes.
But what we're going to do is talk about created recipes in Cookidoo. So I'm going to share my screen straight away. All right. So created recipes are recipes that you can add into Cookidoo and then cook off the screen of your TM6. It's slightly clunkier than the way a recipe is normally viewed in Cookidoo, but it's much easier than going backwards and forwards to another recipe or to a book or something. So there are 3 ways that you can add recipes. So I'm just going to go into my recipes because this is where you'll find them. And this is obviously on the website, whereas if you're on your app, it will be down the bottom under my recipes. And here I've got created recipes. Okay, and you can see that one doesn't have a photograph yet because I haven't made it yet. My hairdresser gave me the recipe and she said, you got to try this. So I converted it and put it in. So I've got a few recipes in here, and some of them have been imported. That's another one that I've put in, that raw mango with no picture yet. Anyway, there's a few recipes there. I love the puppy treats. And some of them are adaptation of Cookidoo recipes, and some are recipes that I put in there, and some are recipes that I've uploaded from the Thermomix Recipe Community. So let's talk about the Thermomix Recipe Community. And what I'm actually going to have to do now is just to stop share for a second. And I've got to find the other thing I want to share, which is being elusive. So bear with me whilst I find it. So there we go. Okay. So now what I've done is I have gone into the Thermomix Recipe Community. And for anybody who hasn't come across it before, just Google Thermomix Recipe Community, and in here you will find a whole heap of recipes. I've just picked one which looked reasonably easy, didn't have too many things to do to it. But you can see here on the right-hand side, it says add to Cookidoo. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add it to Cookidoo. Add to Cookidoo from the Recipe Community, confirm. So it's just importing that very slowly. All right. And what's it say here? Sorry, I have to move us a minute. We automatically detected some ingredients in Thermomix settings. Please verify them with the original recipe. So you can see we've got the title, which we can edit if we want to. We've got the image we can change. We've got here, it's got preparation time, total time, and it serves 6 people.
Okay.
But this is where we now need to go and edit, because it says 1 brown onion over here. It's listed the ingredients, but it's not actually telling me how much I've got to add here. All right. And the telltale thing will be when I come to the screen of the Thermomix, and if you don't actually put the quantities under the preparation steps, you're going to go in there and you're not going to know how much you've got to put in. So what I'm going to do is click on that. She said, oh, hang on.
Edit.
Hang on. Yes, sorry. It's okay. So here, I've got, here we go. I want to add that it's 1 brown. Actually, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go 1. Oh, it's not going to let me do that. Add. I need to put the scales on. Okay, 1 brown onion. Okay, then I'm going to get out of that, and 1 clove of garlic. Okay, garlic. So I'll come back into my scales, and then I will find the other ingredients. So I've got,
okay.
Yeah, I have to do it from the scales. 1 clove of garlic, peeled to the bowl. Peeled to the bowl. And then here, what I'm going to do, okay, it is 7 seconds speed 5, which they've done there, but I need it to be in here. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go 7 seconds speed 5. and click that. So I'm going to get rid of that one because that was the one we added on afterwards. That one. Okay, so that is ready. Now I've got to scrape down the sides of the bowl and add the olive oil. But again, I don't know how much olive oil there is. I've got to add. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to get rid of that because I know how much it is over here, 20 grams. I'm going to put the scales on. I'm going to go ingredient list. I hate. Come on. It sort of seems to disappear somehow. I don't know why it does. Let's yeah, we're in there. No, that's not good. There we go. Made a bit of a difference. 20 grams of olive oil. Okay.
Yes.
And then I want to cook it for 6 minutes, Varoma temperature speed 1. So you're gonna have to help me remember that.
Yeah.
6 minutes, Varoma temperature speed 1. So I have to go here. I'm going 6 minutes. Temperature is Varoma. And the speed is 1. All right, so you can see that that has now underlined.
Yeah.
So I know that that is actually in there. Then we've got to go into this one and we're going to go.
You can't copy and paste.
No, because I need it to show up on the scales. So what I'll actually do in a minute, I'll show you part of what's. I'll confirm it and I'll show you where we've edited and where we haven't and the difference that you'll notice. Okay, so I want to add in here. This is the only, it's fiddly. Sometimes it's not as easy. Once it's in, but it's just can be a little bit fiddly. So now I've got to add the sweet potato and I want to take that out. And I have how much sweet potato? It's gone 450 grams of sweet potato. So again, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to come in here. There we go. Ingredients. I won't do this for everything, but I just thought I'd show you this recipe anyway. A potato in small chunks and add to the bowl once the onion is cooked. Awesome. Hang on. All right, so that's actually saying, this is why it's good to read it. So scrape down the sides of the bowl, add and cook for 6 minutes. Well, you know what I would do? I would actually put that pumpkin and that sweet potato in.
At the same time as the.
Well, no, I might do the garlic and onion, but I mean, it's going to be a soup. So I would actually go chop it, and I would do it, no, add. So I'm going to go edit this. I'm going to go add, because I don't see why I have to chop it all by hand. Thermomix can do it for me. Add, and chop. We'll go down here. Oh, where are you?
Maybe roughly chop.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it's not giving me the option here. Why can't I get my little option?
Because
I want the thing. I want well, so I've got that. Yeah, I've got that. That's okay. But now I actually want to, there we are. And I'm gonna chop. I'm gonna go 5 seconds.
No, you're in minutes.
Oh, I'm in minutes. Thank you. 5 minutes.
Seconds.
Seconds. Oh, goodness. Thank goodness you're here. I'm going to go 5 seconds speed. I'm going to go 6. There we go. All right. So
yep.
Now, because that's obviously not exactly what they did in that recipe, but I don't think that I need to actually chop it myself. I think the Thermomix can chop it for me.
Yes.
So I need to. Yeah, well, we know it's cooked because it's done the previous step.
Yeah.
All right. And I just need to put chop in here. Chop. Okay. All right, so I'm going to confirm that, all right, and I'm going to come to the screen of the Thermomix to show you, and I'm going to show you what it looks like at the moment. So let's get out of that. All right, let's see if I can spotlight.
So you did that on your Thermomix
No, I've done that on the
Cookidoo app,
on Cookidoo, yes.
but you haven't told Cookidoo you're going to cook it today.
No, but because it's a creative recipe, it's going to be my creative recipe.
Okay. Yep.
All right, so I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go to my recipes. I'm going to go to creative recipes. It's just thinking.
Yeah, you're zooming.
Yeah.
Takes a bit of
Here we go. Best ever pumpkin soup. All right.
Yep.
So I'm going to click on that. All right. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Start cooking. Enjoy cooking your own recipe. So here we go. I've got, see the underlined things that were underlined before. So if I go into that scale, it's telling me 1 brown onion and 1 clove of garlic. Okay. And then I click out of there, and in here it's 7 seconds speed 5.
Okay, so you've got to go to the little blade in the corner
Yes.
to make it happen.
Yes. But they're green. If there's no weighing or there's no chopping,
yep,
they won't be green.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to go on to the next one. So here we are. We're going to add the 20 grams of olive oil. And we're cooking for 6 minutes for room temperature.
Okay.
Speed. All right. Next, this is the bit that we just did. Add 650 grams of pumpkin and 450 grams of sweet potato. And chop 5 seconds speed 6.
Yep.
All right. Now we haven't edited past here.
Yep.
So if I go into here, oh, actually it's come up. So that's a good thing. I didn't think it's going to come up. But sometimes you've just got to really watch, because I haven't actually put the quantities in there. I know when creative recipes
I'm kind of losing your volume every now and then.
because I'm facing away. So when a creative recipe first started out, it didn't specify the amount of water. It just say water.
Okay.
But it looks like they fixed that. So it's all those things being added in, cooking for 20 minutes. Make sure they're soft, and blend for 1 minute. But obviously, I'm sure that you're going to speed 5 and you're slowly going to turn it to speed.
Okay.
We'll need to edit that in the recipe so that comes up. Oh, that does say slowly increasing. But can you see that this that's not green?
Yeah, the scales.
The scales. So there's nothing to weigh in that one. It is just literally a function.
Okay.
All right, does that make sense?
Yes, yes, yes.
Awesome. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to go back in to Cookidoo. All right, so we could go in. That's interesting. As I said, in the past, which is why I edited these for quantities, but maybe the quantities were already there. But that's what you just need to check. It is actually important to go backwards and forwards between your machine and between your laptop or whatever you're working on in Cookidoo to make sure that it all matches up. All right. So that's one way you can pop recipes in. I'm just going to go done. Another way you can put recipes in is actually by importing them from Cookidoo. And there may be a recipe, which there is for me. Actually, I've put it in my week. So this chocolate cake is a really good chocolate cake, just by the by. As you can see, it's pretty well rated there.
Yeah.
And I made this the first time, and I thought, oh, in a bit of a pain, I've got to whip up the egg whites, da-di-da-di-da. Made the whole thing like this. The lesson is make sure you read all the tips and tricks as well, because at the bottom, there's a quick chocolate cake where you don't actually whisk the egg whites separately. So what you can do is put this in to your created recipes and make it easy for yourself. So one of the options up here is add to created recipes.
Okay.
So there it is. And what I'm going to do, going to check this in before I alter any of this. No, I'm going to alter the little bits to make it a quick chocolate cake.
Okay.
So the quick chocolate cake is you put the chocolate in. Oh, add dark chocolate. Hang on. Place chocolate in the mixing bowl and grate. I got chocolate being grated before. No. Oh, that's because they've done it a totally different way around. So I'm going to have to edit this whole thing.
Change
because
the steps.
yes, exactly. So I'm not going to. So if I edit this, I won't do the whole thing now because it'll take a little while. But I don't need to do that. So I want to delete that step because I'm not doing that whisking first. Okay. And what I'm actually going to do first is sugar. Now, where's the butter? Okay. Delete step. So I'm actually going to add a step down here because I can put it anywhere. And I'm going to go place the chocolate. Where's the chocolate? Dark chocolate. Into mixing bowl. Whoops, mixing bowl. Oops. And grate for 5 seconds. This is where it's good to actually have it either printed out yourself or have 2 devices so you can see what you're trying to put in there.
So
Speed 7.
when you say grate, you're not choosing the grater method. It's just
no. It's just you could have.
it.
I could say I can edit that and put chop. Doesn't matter. I'll put chop. That's probably better, isn't it? It's just that it's in the recipe there. It's a grate.
Yeah.
But chop. Okay. So that's done now. But what I want to do is that's actually going to be after. Well, it's going to come right up here. So I want to reorder it. Change the order. So I'm going to move that up here. And I'm going to keep moving it up because it's actually the first thing in the, oops, didn't go. No, hang on, where'd you go? Maybe I've got to
It's the 250 gram one.
Yeah, it is this one, that's right. But it's not letting me do it now. So I'm just going to go.
Yeah, that's the first step.
Oh, it is. Thank you. All right. So that's that. Then I'm going to add the butter. So I'm actually going to edit this one. Why isn't that letting? Oh, well, it's going to go done.
Pencil? No.
Okay. Then I'm going to go edit this. So I'm going to add. They don't have separate. Add butter and mix. Add butter and mix and melt. So you can see it takes a little bit of time to do it, but it's actually worth it in the end. So I don't want those things because I'm doing something a bit different here. So I'm going to come to my cooking settings and I am doing 4 minutes, 60 degrees. Degrees, speed 2. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is add, so that's done. The next one I'm going to do is this one. I'm going to go add, I don't want the dark chocolate because that's already in there. Add flour.
50 grams down the bottom.
I know, I'm just trying to control it all. Add flour, comma, sugar. Oh, and I'll probably I never do 200 grams of sugar, so I would edit that.
Well, it's for you.
Sorry?
Edit it. It's for you.
Yeah, it is. So I've got to actually, so I'm going to do that here. I would do probably about 150 grams of sugar. Then I've got to add salt and eggs. Add salt. And add, just on that, I don't know if you've heard me say this anywhere else, but through trial and error and a little bit of investigation by Irene, you can only decrease the sugar by, you can't do it by any more than 2/3. You cannot reduce more than 1/3. So you can take 1/3 off, but if you get to a half, it totally changes the structure of the cake, and it's not good.
Now, the eggs would be okay to add after having heated it for 60 degrees.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. It won't.
It's okay because this is what it's saying in this is the recipe, the quick recipe, and I've made it plenty of times.
Yeah.
So we're going to mix now. Come to here for 15 seconds. And it is speed 5. Okay, so that's done.
That only did 10 seconds.
Oh, did 2, sorry.
No, you were actually at step 4.
Oh, yes, I was. Sorry. Yeah, good job. Good job you're here. All right, 15 seconds. Speed 5.
Tick.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So we don't need that. That step can go. We don't need that. That step can go. But what I do need to do is go transfer to prepared tin and bake for 10 to 15 minutes. Da-da-da-da-da.
So it really only mixes for 15 seconds, and all of that, because when you whisked it in the previous recipe, the whisking was for...
Yeah, but that was because it was whipping up egg whites, making soft peaks.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just mixing it in. And honestly, if you make it and you look at it and you go, it hasn't mixed enough, I would just scrape on the sides and repeat.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So then all you do is go confirm. And there it is. And if I come, let me just get out of this one. Come to the screen. Oh, hang on.
Now, how do I get that? As you've created it for yourself, how do I get it? You have to send it to me. Is that how it works?
You can do it yourself, but I probably can send it to you.
Yeah.
I'll try. Actually, I think you can send creative recipes now rather than, but I'll come back to my screen here. I like that. I can see this. It's going to be, hey, Mandy, I want this recipe in creative recipes. My recipes, creative recipes. Okay. Oh, in fact, I'm going to change the title because that's what it is. And start cooking. Preheat the oven. Here we go. So here we go. We've got 250 grams of chocolate. And 5 seconds speed 7, and so on. So it's going to step through everything that we have just done on the screen. Is going to be just going to come up under those buttons there.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So, and of course, the other way you can do things, and I think I mean, it's up to you. We can do it, but we don't. It will take a little bit of time. That's done. So you can add your own recipes. So you can go in here and you go create recipe. And I won't put the whole thing in, but the one that that I have got here somewhere is, it's called linseed, banana and date muffins. All right. And literally all you've got to do, I'll start and just show you the start. Linseed, banana and date muffins. Image. I did save it somewhere beforehand. Where are we? There they are. There it is. Uploading, it's thinking. There we go.
Okay.
Not very pretty, but anyway, there it is. And then from here, you can see we've got nothing there, so I can go add ingredients. And I've got 100 grams of linseed. Oops, it's actually showing. I can't see. Yep, that's done. And then you just keep adding. So you keep adding down there, and then you add your first step. Mine is going to be
preheat oven.
Preheat. Yes, I hope you spell it properly. Preheat oven to 180 degrees. Grease muffin pan, or if using silicone, no need to grease, or whatever. No need to grease. And you tick that, and you just keep going. You just keep adding your ingredients. You keep adding your steps down here.
Okay.
All right. But there are a couple of things I just wanted to point out, and that is in your basic cookbook on page 22 and 23, it teaches you or tells you how to convert recipes. All right. So basically in there, it's got a whole lot of stuff about the first thing to do is actually to read all the way through the recipe. All right. So because sometimes with a recipe, even if it's not, if it's one of your recipes and it's a cake, then you might have made it, that way always. But if you, when you're making something in the Thermomix, you often want to make the dry things, mix the dry things first, because then you can tip them out into a bowl, do your wet things and add the dry things. So just for example, things like almond meal. If it says almond meal in a recipe, and sometimes I find that with some of the actual Thermomix recipes that are already on Cookidoo, it'll say with the zucchini slice, it says 100 grams of rice flour. So you really need to read through the recipe first to go, hang on, I've got to make the rice flour first before I've got all my ingredients in the bowl. And you've got 2 bowls, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. But we're lifesavers. I mean, that is the lifesaver. You can get it, but I'd rather not wash the second bowl if I don't have to. So so it's always worth reading through. You make your almond meal first, you make your rice flour, any other flours that you need to make them first, tip them out, and then keep going. So it might mean that your cake is made in a slightly different order to the way you would normally do it traditionally, but it's worth looking at. And then just a couple of things, which is basically in this book, but if you are whipping egg whites, super clean bowl, you need to do the vinegar wash, okay? And that's, basically 5 minutes for aroma temperature, speed 1, a litre of water and 30 grams or so of vinegar.
And then completely dry the bowl.
Yeah, rinse it and dry it. Yeah, absolutely. And to really dry it, turbo it, and then dry it and turbo and dry.
Yeah. Okay,
that's to get a super dry bowl, or get your second bowl out. All right. So yeah, if you, as I've just said, grinding and grating, if you do the dry things first, you're less likely to have to do more washing. There's less washing up involved. You need to do, if you are kneading anything, you do it before you heat anything, because you don't want that heat in the bowl for the kneading.
Yes.
If you are kneading, then you can oil the blade before you start if you want to make it super easy for the dough to come out. And you know that if you turn the bowl upside down
and wiggle. Yeah,
wiggle, that's your blades wiggling there, so that makes it easy to get out. And turbo again, just to get the last bits off if you need to. All right. Yeah, if you're making a batter or a sauce, then usually most things get chucked in together, you know, like your bechamel sauce, everything gets thrown in. It's none of this melt the butter, make the roux, da 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 da. So that's pretty easy. And with when you're chopping vegetables, you know, often it'll say an onion and some garlic. You chop it and then you're going to saute it. If you put the oil in at the same time as the onion and the garlic, which you're going to need for sauteing anyway, then it's easier to scrape down the bowl because of the oil.
Okay.
What else? Yeah, and it just gives you some temperatures and things on that page as well to look for. And I'm sure you know, but this is just for anybody else who's watching later, our wonderful one-on-one. At the back of the book, you've got other things that will help. So you've got steaming functions at the back of the book.
Yes.
You know, how long to cook things for. You've also got all the chopping functions there. So that's all really helpful when you're coming to convert your own recipe and pop it into Cookidoo.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's not hard. It's just it just, as you can see, you've got to really think. You just got to think about it whilst you're putting the recipe into Cookidoo, and then just double check it on your screen and make sure that it's come through okay.
Yeah, yeah. I read on one of the Facebook sites, someone said what they did is they had their recipe up and said convert this to Thermomix and use that chat
AI stuff,
GPT
your chat GPT. Yeah, I have no idea how to use it, but yes, that would be very smart.
And I thought, wow, how would AI know?
I know.
Thermomix, but I haven't tried it or anything.
No, I haven't either. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's sort of one of those things. I think with things like that, I sort of think, oh, you know, I need to be able to think for myself too. But it's also convenient.
Yeah. So I'll have a look at that. But
yeah. But
cake.
then you're still going to have to put it in and make sure that you've got the things like the rest of the ingredients and things are underlined and in that correct green, you know, whether it's the blade symbol or the scales, to make sure that you that it all works properly on there. So yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Any other questions?
No, thank you.
No, was it helpful?
Yes.
Good. Anything you particularly you want to put in? Any recipe?
I wouldn't mind that chocolate cake one. It looks like it's even that there's only 50 grams of flour in it.
I know.
So
yeah, it's good.
That's quite small for a person who has a gluten issue but not intolerant.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, it's good. I will send it to you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to stop recording anyway.
All right, thanks.